So this is one of these bagged Hoover wind tunnels. And I remember when these came out, they surprisingly weren't being sold for all that long, maybe 4 or 5 years, and then Hoover quietly discontinued them. Of course, the scrappers cut the cord off. Typical, we're missing the cord hook right here, but it's a Hoover Platinum. Very, very similar to an XL21, but I'm pretty certain that the brush roll is different as well as some other small things, but you can tell they probably got the tube here out of the same parts bin, or at least it's definitely the same design. But what I'm gonna do right now is this thing is filthy. So we're just going to take this apart. I'm gonna take all the body pieces off to include the bag. I don't know how I'm gonna wash the bag just yet. I don't know if this thing will flex enough to get it into the clothes washer. That's how I normally wash outer bags. But let's go ahead and take this thing apart. We're just going to undo the collar here, figure out how to get the bag off, kind of go from there. Inner bag is out. Gonna have to clean out everything in here, but I've just undone these 2 screws. And don't lose the hardware, of course. That back cuff is off, 4 screws there. Yeah, 2 screws here on the bag dock. There's 1. There's 2. So now, just have to undo this. That wraps around the outside of the neck. And let's see if this thing will come off of here. A little bit of work. So I'll clean this out and then try and figure out how we're gonna clean this up. But now, just gonna take off the rest of these plastic bits and then we'll stick it in the washing machine. So that was pretty simple. It's just like an Oric, at least with that part. So, gonna stick that in the tube, gonna clean up the outer bag. Probably not gonna stick the handle in the dishwasher, but all of that needs to be vacuumed out. And of course I need to cut all the hair off of the brush roll. It fits. And let's see how it turned out. Oh, looks a little bit better. Got some water inside of here. I think I'll throw it in for another spin cycle, but and like this instead. So all the plastics are cleaned other than the outlet here. I'm probably gonna get that with a with a rag or something. This is all cleaned up. Everything looks good. Of course, that got damaged a little bit in the washer, but it appears that it's just a standard Hoover badge. So if I ever want to replace it, I could just pull it off of there and glue another one on. It doesn't really appear to be that big of a deal. Probably gonna wash this off in the sink just because, but the rest of this stuff is pretty much ready to go. But I'm going to put the handle back on, the brush roll back in after I clean up all the hair on it, and probably save this part for last. But there's definitely a lot of dirt and grit on this. There's definitely a lot of hair on this, so I'm just gonna clean that off with a razor blade. Then we'll put that back on. So everything's put back together. There's all the old crap that came off the brush roll. So now I'm just going to reinstall this, sink all the screws back in, and then we'll be done with this part. So then now that that's going to be done, I'm going to start on putting the bag back together, and then we'll look at the handle because we have to replace the cord. So here it is, all plugged in. New cord, new used cord anyways. I didn't show replacing the cord on it. I just wanted to get this done, but there's these 3 screws on the back here, here, and here. You take those out, take this one out, you pull the handle out of this part right here, pop this cover off, and then everything's right there to wire in. Wasn't too bad. It's definitely not as easy as an Oric, but it's still fairly simple. Overall though, it came out pretty good. And you can see when it has the power on it. It's got like a soft start, which is something like a SIBO or Mila will have. But let's give it a shot. It remembers what setting you had on. A little too high. And then just to show you guys a better look at the light. I like that soft start feature. It feels like it's got a good amount of power. Unfortunately, it is showing its age a little bit. Just, I don't know where the owners had left it. I don't know if it was outside, but the bag itself is faded a bit. There is some wear on the handle here. But I guess that's pretty common for this kind of material. I know other Hoovers have had that problem too. You know, we're missing the hook here, but overall the thing works. It seems to work pretty good. I just need to get some new bags for it and get rid of that used bag. It's kind of got a smell to it, but it's fine for how it is. The fact that it's a HEPA bag, I'm not really too worried about it because those filter so well. I mean, they don't filter smell out, unfortunately, but anyways, I'll end up putting a new bag in this one and probably keeping it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more.